The following podcast is a Lady K Enterprises production.
Lady K.
Welcome, and thank you for tuning in to Lady K Chat, a podcast that is designed for all women to become better versions of themselves, which is broadcast every Tuesday and Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Various subjects will be speaked upon, such as relationships, personal development, health and wellness, wealth building, children, and so much more. She is a two-time Amazon best-selling author, an international speaker, and life coach. She is Kalima, aka Lady K. And now for your host, Lady K.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in today's episode of What Do You Do, which is a part of the April Series 2020 election. And today, my special guest, she is a huge advocate for women, y'all. She believes in equal pay, equal work, and she serves as the 115th legislative district representative of Pennsylvania. So I would love to welcome Miss Maureen Madden. How are you today, Maureen?
I'm doing well, Kalima. Thank you for having me, and hello to everybody who's listening. It's such a pleasure for me to be with you.
Thank you, and I really appreciate you accepting this invitation. I know, Maureen, I hound you, but I definitely had to have you because you have something special to share with my audience. And like I said before, I know you're a huge advocate for women. But my first question to you is, what made you first run for representative of Pennsylvania?
I have been involved in politics for a very long time. So I'm 60 years old. I first got involved at 19 years old. Wow. And before that, I was involved because my dad was extremely political. I remember being a 13-year-old kid watching the Watergate hearings with him, sitting down during the summer vacation watching hearings, and we were all like, I was like, "What's going on, Dad? Is democracy over? What's happening?" And my father really explaining, how government works, and that, we are stronger than any one president, than any one branch of government, that we were, that's why we have this 3-tier system. And Then I started paying attention because I grew up in the 70s, Kalima, when we had Betty Friedan and we had Gloria Steinem and we had Shirley Chisholm and we had Geraldine Ferraro and we had women. We had women stepping up because there was a huge push for the Equal Rights Amendment during the 70s, which we still haven't gotten done.
Right.
And so that was a time of hope. And there was a little Facebook exercise yesterday that said, what was the number one hit song when you were born or for your 13th birthday or something? And it turned out it was "I Am Woman" by Helen Reddy. And I don't know if you're familiar with that song, but
yes, I am.
Out, "I am woman, hear me roar." And that's what the 70s were like for women.
Wow.
We felt like we were really going to be equal with men, that we were really going to, show up in the boardroom and be making the same amount of money and be holding positions. We had Barbara Jordan to look at. We had Shirley Chisholm. We had, that was around the time that Emily's List, which is the organization that helps elect women, formed to help get more women elected. And so that's the mindset in which I grew up. Okay. And so Shirley Chisholm was actually my congresswoman when I was first moved to New York. And she was running for president, and she was amazing to me. And then she left office, and Geraldine Ferraro ran to be my congresswoman. And that's when I got involved. I knocked on doors for and with Geraldine Ferraro. And ever since I was 19 years old, I have been involved in a political campaign ever since, either helping someone else. And then finally, I was asked to run by my party in 2012, which I did, and I lost. And then I ran in 2014, and I lost by a heartbreaking 585 votes. And then I ran again in 16, and I won. and then again in 18. And when I won in 18, I won. When I won in 2016, I won by just shy of 900 votes. But once I got in and I started working for people and they understood that I worked for them and nobody else, I won my re-election by nearly 4,000 votes.
That is amazing, Maureen. Listen, as you're talking, and I'm hearing the passion in your voice, but what I hear the most is that you're persistent, that you didn't give up on the first time when you lost, and the second time that you lost, and then you got to be, keep your position after the second term. I think that's wonderful. And that's part of why I invited you today, because I need the people to hear, especially from a woman perspective, that we are there to do the right things. And people also need to know, once you're in that position, what do you do? Can you give us a little glimpse of what your day-to-day look like?
Sure. And, I just want to, before I get into that, I just want to say really quickly, there has never been a better time to be a woman than 2020.
Yeah, right? You're right about that.
Right? Black women, white women, we are going to be the driving force in this election in November. We have the opportunity. We elected more women in 2018 in the Pennsylvania House than ever before. We have over 50 women in the House.
Right.
We have more Black elected officials than ever before in the House of Representatives, in Pennsylvania, and in Washington. It's changing. The tide is changing because people want people representing them who understand that they represent the people, not corporations, not powerful lobbies. So that is my job. My job is twofold. Number one, my job is to represent 60,000 constituents, regardless of what your party is, whatever you need. And right now with the coronavirus, we're working double time. That's my job, is to make sure that you understand state-related issues, that my office can help you with anything that you need. If you're a senior citizen, we can help cut through all the red tape and get you the services that you are certainly entitled to. And then the other side of my job is to go to Harrisburg and to be part of passing legislation that works for people. That, I don't think the average person is looking for government to give them a hand out, but they are looking for government to give them a hand up.
Right. Absolutely. I agree with you on that part.
So we have to make sure that people can make a living wage. We have to make sure that unions are strong. We have to make sure that we're protecting the environment. We have to make sure that our kids in Pennsylvania are getting a world-class education. Because really, the Pennsylvania Constitution only tells us to do two things, Kalima: pass a budget and provide a free, high-quality education to all of the children in Pennsylvania.
Wow.
Yep.
That's all I can say. But like you say, you guys go the extra mile and do a little bit more.
Every legislator works hard, I believe. Most legislators, the majority of them, I'm changing my,
right.
I'm thinking of people. I would say by and large, most legislators work really hard for their constituents and really listen to their concerns and really want to make sure that everybody in their community is being served. And for some people, especially right now, there are people destitute. After I get off this podcast, I'm going to deliver food and diapers to people who are still hanging on, waiting for those stimulus checks, waiting for that unemployment. We're at such desperate times right now. So quite honestly, everything that I do when I come to work every morning is around the coronavirus, is making sure that people understand how dire this is, that staying at home is so important. This week we had to tackle the Airbnbs because there were rental agencies advertising for people to come from New York.
Oh, no.
And they were advertising them as coronavirus-free environments in the Poconos to come and self-quarantine from New York.
Wow.
So Representative Rosemary Brown, Senator Mario Scavello, and I worked along with other legislators in the Northeast region and senators as well, and we made it extremely clear to the governor that these people coming into our state are bringing the virus. And what I learned from talking to the president of couple of hospitals is that they're further along. So they're actually coming and infecting us and then bringing more germs back because we haven't even peaked yet. And they're like right there and kind of on the downturn in New York. So it was very important to get that done. And our governor is wonderful in that when you bring him evidence and you show him the facts, he is not afraid to do the right thing. Just because he said something one day, things will evolve. And every day we know that things are evolving with this coronavirus. And so it got to the point where, and then the day before, last week, we got March to voluntarily stop running the buses. So right now what we're doing is everything is around containment, is trying to protect the people in the Poconos from getting this virus from anybody who would be bringing it from outside.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you. I love that. Thank you so much, Maureen. I appreciate you coming up here and sharing this with my audience. Guys, I hope you was able to take vital information. Everything that she provided, please write it down and please share it with everyone. Continue to follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Lady K Chat. And if you need any additional resources, you can always go on my website at www.ladykenterprises.inc. And you guys have a great night. Thank you, Maureen.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. And good luck to everybody. Be safe.
Thank you.
Lady K.